Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Mindful Living podcast. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are taking a journey to one of the most dynamic, exciting, and opportunity-packed markets in the world, Saudi Arabia. And joining us in this journey is none other than Mohammad Bahareth, a best-selling author, award-winning business consultant, and member of the prestigious Forbes Business Council. Listeners, he's a powerhouse of knowledge with years of experience helping businesses and individuals as well navigate the unique landscape of Saudi Arabia. From the cultural nuances to the tech driven future of Saudi Vision 2030, Mohammed is here to give us the ultimate insider's guide to doing business in this thriving market. So, buckle up, grab a notebook because you are going to want to take notes here, and let's uncover the secrets to business success in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So, Mr. Mohammed, welcome to the show, and it is an absolute honor to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Sana.
So, Mohammed, Saudi Arabia is buzzing with opportunities. We are seeing it, but like any market, it has its unique challenges. What do you think makes this market stand out globally? And what are the key hurdles businesses must be prepared to face?
See, first let's face the challenges. Uh, the laws are adapting very quickly to international standards, and the regulations are also adapting. So it's becoming very close to what everybody is used to in the international community regarding business and regulation and laws. Of course, we have a bit of a difference in cultural matters and some little stuff about kinds of management and employment laws, as all countries do have their differences.
Yep.
But the chances, the opportunities that are available, for example, in mining and refineries, there are so many opportunities. Okay, there is gold, there is cobalt, there is so many minerals and metals uh, to mine from the land, and we have a lot of companies, but most of the companies are small. There are only a few big ones. So there are, you know, companies from Spain, from China. Everybody is coming in now. They're competing for the rights to mine these minerals and rocks, and everything that can be mined is now open. It's not like before. You just go to the regulating authority and just give them your details. Sometimes people don't understand the way we work here in Saudi Arabia and how everything is digitized now, and
Mhm.
it takes them some time to get used to, because it's not like anything they encountered before, because you need to have a digital presence, in the government platforms, and that digital presence is your key to accessing all of the government's websites and services.
And
So
okay.
yes, so we have like an app called Nafal, and this app is like your digital ID. So you need to use it everywhere. When you first come to Saudi Arabia as an investor, or as a company dealing with Saudis, you have to understand that you need to have everything through the digitization process. If you are a company, you have to go through your embassy and the chamber of commerce, and there is small legal stuff that you can uh, uh, do it with help of lawyers. There are many lawyers, even international lawyers, that have opened offices here. So they are here to help. They are here to assist. There are several business consultants to help and assist with the process itself. For example, if you want to wash your car, should you bring the water first or the soap first, or should you bring the mopping sponge? So it's just a difference of opinion on which you should bring first, and it's all the same thing.
Hmm, very well explained. So Mr. Mohammed, Saudi Arabia, as you mentioned, there are cultural nuances. It has got a very rich and unique culture. How important is understanding these cultural nuances when doing business? And if you can share some specific do's and don'ts that could make or break a deal.
See, I have an American businessman. He's a very nice guy. When he first came to Saudi Arabia, we got screwed in a business deal because he did not understand that some kind of actions have respect or disrespect to the people and the culture. In America, they're used to putting their shoes up on the table and relaxing. It's normal there, but here if you do that here, it's a deal breaker because people, it's a sign of disrespect because from the desert as a you know as an ecosystem in the desert. So the shoes is something important. Okay, the bottom of the shoes is what you step on. So
Right.
the thing that you disrespect, you put it under your shoe. So
Mm.
that's what happened, and we lost one of a good deals, and
Oh,
we never recovered from that. So one of my upcoming books is 50 things to do or not to do in Saudi Arabia.
wow. Wow.
That's an upcoming book because a lot of people, I have a lot of friends coming from Japan. You see, you have to tell them that it's a sign of respect to eat with your right hand. Uh, you have to, when you go into some place, we have some traditions like the Japanese. When you go to eat food, you have to take off your shoes
It's
outside.
idea of mine, yes.
Yeah, so we have some similarities with Japan. We have some similarities with all of the countries in the world because Hajj has brought everybody, all the Muslims from all the countries, to Mecca. So we have a little from every food. You can find it in Mecca. A little, even people would be surprised that 50 years ago we had Indian food, okay, and we eat it normally. We eat it normally. It's like we changed it a bit because Indians like it very spicy and even mild. The mild that they say mild is very spicy for us.
Mm, love.
So you can find similarities. We enjoy learning things about cultures. We enjoy telling. See, sometimes the language is a barrier. There is a story, okay, and I would like for you to research this. Uh, I think a British or American scholar came in the beginning of the establishment of Saudi Arabia. I think it was uh, in the 20s or something like that. He came, he told the driver. This driver did not understand English, but
Mhm.
he understand what the word means in his perspective. So the guy pointed to a place, the American or the British guy, he pointed to a place and he said, "See that." So the guy thought it was go straight. So he heard it, "Sida." So now there is a word that has been around for more than 100 years, okay? And it's called Sida. So people think it means go straight. And the origin of it is see that.
Sea dust.
Yeah. Can you believe this?
No, no.
And it is now in different cultures. You can find it in Pakistan, in India, in all of the Middle East. See,
Mhm. See that.
Saudi Arabia and the places to the right in the map, all of them have this Sida. And
Yeah.
to the left of the map, if you go to Egypt, if you go to North Africa, the Arabian countries, they don't understand it. Let me tell you something also. In Saudi Arabia, we have several regions. We have different cultures. It's not all one culture.
Uh,
So sometimes what is acceptable in the Western region is not acceptable in Riyadh, or it is different. For example, in Jeddah, it is more open because of pilgrims and Hajj. They're more open to other societies, to other people. In Riyadh, they have the Najd heritage and the way they talk and the way they walk. It's different. When you go to the north, it's different. When you go to the eastern province, it's different. Each place in Saudi Arabia is unique, either by the spices, the land, the landscape, the people themselves, the culture, the backgrounds. If you see the festivals in the National Day, you see all of the symbols. They bring all of the symbols from each of the regions to show
Mhm.
unity.
Unity and
See,
diversity.
the biggest mistakes that people don't understand is that Saudi Arabia was unified. It's a unification story. It was not like a civil war story or something like that. Like, several of the, Western scholars have made it to be. It is unification. People have come together under one leader because they believed in him and the vision that he told them that will happen. And now we are living the essence of this vision. We are living. He told us that you will be the best people in the region. He was told that he will bring everything, all of the resources of the country to make this country the best place in this region and then the world. And now this is what we are seeing today.
Yes.
Okay, the goals of 2030, 80% or 70% of them are almost achieved now. To we as citizens are happy and surprised by this, so that means we can achieve even more. We can have a bigger goals. We can have bigger vision. So this is the thing that, see, when a man from the desert is dreaming, okay,
Mm-hmm.
he will achieve that dream because he have nothing else except that dream, nothing else to disturb his focus.
True, true. Lovely, lovely. That was really beautiful, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you.
Okay, so on the practical side, as you mentioned in the beginning, the regulatory and the legal landscape in Saudi Arabia is evolving rapidly. So, what are the key legal requirements and permits businesses need to know, and how can they navigate this framework efficiently?
You see, it depends on the sector that they're going through. If, for example, if they're military, they need to have, a huge kind of investment and background checks and stuff like that. That will be, one of the most difficult. But if you go, for example, like Hunger Station or Kita, you have to have like a permit from the regulating authority stating that you have to have your cars regulated. The guy that's driving the car has to have, medical checkup every 6 months and to have a health permit. So if somebody have AIDS, we don't want AIDS to spread. Okay, if he's going around with the car for stuff that is not company business and using the company car, they have to have a GPS. They have to have stuff like that to regulate, to keep the company's assets and investments safe, and also to keep the public in a safe environment and to regulate everything in an automated way. It's just regulations. Also, when companies, tech companies open their regional branches in Saudi Arabia or their first idea as a startup in Saudi Arabia, they must understand that the laws state now that all personal information must be stored in a certain way in
Mm,
Saudi Arabia with certain kind of safeguards. So people's information doesn't go out to, for example, hackers or stuff like that, or they have to have safeguards because people put in their apps, they put their credit cards, they put their home location, they put their numbers, sometimes they put password reminders, they put stuff like that. So these are critical information that have to be
mhm.
addressed in a secure way to safekeep the citizens and the visitors and the residents of Saudi Arabia all alike.
Hmm. Hmm.
See,
That's
we
a
have a saying in Saudi Arabia, everything you do must have a permit
oh, okay.
because everything has a regulating authority. I will give you an example for myself. I have a permit from Riga, which is the regulating authority for real estate.
Okay.
This Permit is for me to promote real estate as a person.
Okay, so to promote also you need a permit.
Yes, and for the the advertisement itself, you need another permit. Having the guy that owns the real estate or the company giving you authority through their digital ID, which is through Nafad. Also, I have another. I have a media ID that states that I'm a writer and a journalist. Okay, and this gives me rights, and this also gives me responsibilities. I have another permit for advertising on social media as a person. Okay, because they have regulations for advertisement. You cannot advertise for forex or stuff that is illegal or fraudulent because people are just clicking. They don't know. Not everybody knows that this site is authentic or fraudulent. So they have to have a regulating body and responsibilities. Adding to that, I have a freelance. This is new actually. It happened a few years ago. They have like a freelance permit. I have a public relations permit. I have a business community permit. You see, everything has to have a permit, and everything has its own regulations. So everything is done precise. Okay, and see, even if somebody does something by mistake, okay, the government does not fine them immediately. They give them a notice. They said, okay, this is your first warning. Fix this in 7 days or 14 days. Next time you will be fine. Okay.
Okay.
They now they have new encouraging systems where they call it in Arabic al-imtithal. It's compliance. Well, the more you comply, they started it in Riyadh's municipality, and the more you comply, the more that the government rewards you with benefits. Like they give you options, they give you features, they give you stuff, so you can compete even better.
So there's an incentive for being compliant.
Yes, and now it started in Riyadh's municipality, and now I think it's being studied all across Saudi Arabia how to do it in other regions. Okay, we have, uh, for example, several committees that are under the ministries. So the committees, for example, the committees for small and medium enterprises. This committee, if you are a small and medium enterprise, you just go and get the small and medium enterprise permit, and you
Mm.
will have uh, a special treatment within government agencies that will treat you. They give you discounts, they give you stuff, but you have to go through the training because the training, it will tell you, okay, you cannot use 20% of your uh, um, of your capital of the company. You have to keep it. You cannot use 100%. You have to keep it 20% of your company for emergencies, emergency fund, and then your revenue, how you should do it, how you should do like that, how much is the payments, what you're gonna do, how you're gonna plan. So they give the structurization of everything in this process, and they give incentive after you complete it to small and medium enterprises, and the startups here are thriving. uh, a few years ago we did not have all of this. Okay, this is developed in the last 5 to 6 years. uh, One of the things that I would like to tell you about is, for example, before there was no legal way for you to rent a large office space and to make a shared workspace. There was no legal way to do it unless the owner of the building says yes.
Okay.
And most of them don't want it because parking spaces and stuff like that, and some old buildings don't have enough parking places because they didn't keep up with the regulation. So now even the old buildings, they're telling them, okay guys, here is what you can do. You have a year or two to fix your parking problem. Here is our suggestions. Let's try to help each other. And uh, as an example, now you can go and rent a place without the permission of the you can make it into a workplace without the permission of the owner of um, the building itself, and you can have a permit for workspace, and people can instantly get their own permits from the municipality. You just click, 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 you get everything. Okay, I used to go like 30 years ago
Mhm.
with a green folder, having to get, first you have to go to the civil authority to get a print of your that you are a citizen. Then you go to the Ministry of Commerce. Then you ask them, I want to make a certificate. And you said, what you want to trade, you want services, what do you want to do? Okay, you're just you're just a beginner, so we'll give you this, and then you stay and wait for a month or two, up to 6 months, until they give you the certificate. That was what's done before. We call this green folio, we call it ملف علاقي أخضر. Everybody knows it now, it's disappeared. We don't have this green folio. This is a sign of digitization. Now you can do a company in less than 20 seconds. Click, 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 click. It's done.
Wow.
Uh,
I think
eh,
it. Uh-huh. Go on.
if you want to find anything in your name, you just go click on any government website. You want to
Mhm.
find land for your parents, you can find it all. It's all digitized. And and if it's not digitized, it's a year or two on the way to being digitized. So everything is being digitized to a remarkable way. You can go and change the color of your car. Okay, click, click, get a permission. You go change it. You go to the guy. He says, okay, this is the color. He checks the color, the standards. He checks the specs, and then he said, okay, and he gives you a no vehicle registration, just like that. Click, click.
It's a big.
Everything is becoming so easy.
Yes. Yes. And I think, uh, there are so many takeaways, especially the entrepreneurs or founders or business leaders or even investors who are looking to explore Saudi Arabian market. The biggest takeaway which I feel is strengthening SMEs in terms of ease of doing business and also helping them, giving them the guidance and mentorship before even they start doing business. I think it's helping them, strengthening the backbone of Saudi Arabian economy because SMEs actually they form the backbone. If they are flourishing, the entire economy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will flourish. So I think you mentioned some great points, and really, thank you so much for sharing.
Regarding SMEs, there are three most important things, because usually 95% of SMEs fail.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to reduce this chance from 95% to 60%
Mm,
by enabling the founders and the people that are working the team to understanding the laws, to understanding how to manage the business, and to give them benefits and premiums and the discounts so they can survive the first 2 years. Uh,
mm,
Most of them don't survive the first year, never also the second year. So if they survive the second year, that means we have succeeded in saving one SME, and then another, and then another. So the percentage is becoming the percentage of failure is becoming lower, and the percentage of success is becoming higher, because now they can pivot. Now they have creative mindsets. They understand design thinking. They can adjust with the market. Okay, Instagram did not start as Instagram. They pivoted. Facebook did not start as Facebook is today. Okay, Amazon started as a bookstore. Now everything you can find, it's a whole store for everything on the internet. Everything started with a pivot. Okay, uh,
mm,
uh, for example, you can have several companies around the world that has pivoted. Okay, Samsung, for example, they sell fruit. They were a fruit market supplier. Okay, now people think Samsung have TVs and mobile phones. You know what is their biggest profit? They sell military hardware. They do military hardware. Okay, imagine from fruits to phones and military hardware. Imagine that just Samsung. Uh,
mm.
where is BlackBerry today? It was so popular in 2008. You couldn't look right or left without seeing one. And they made fun of us for buying iPhone. What's that? You don't have keyboard. Ha ha ha. You don't have a keyboard. And now nobody knows what BlackBerry is.
Exactly. I think today's generation doesn't even know. There used to be a brand of phone called BlackBerry.
Yes. Or let's make something called Raspberry or something. Or let's make a phone called Goji Berry. How about that? Yeah. I would love to see a company called maybe, uh, like for example, the Himalayan salt. I want to see, a technology company that's called the Himalayan salt. Now, this is a very nice name. It has a nice ring to it. Or ashwagandha, name companies with fruits. Make them delicious, make them happy, make them exciting. It's a very nice way to name a company.
Yes, yes, it is. It
Mm.
is.
One time I made a company. It's like a joke. I'm a fan of Naruto, by the way. So I made a company in Arabic. It's called As-Sahab Al-Ahmar, which means the Akatsuki.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
yeah, it's just an inside joke. I just made it so I can tell my kids about it one day in the next generation. Okay, I'm the guy who made the Akatsuki.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Great, 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 Mr. Mohammed. And as India and Saudi Arabia, w- we enjoy a very healthy strategic economic relationship. I think in both the countries, relationships are crucial also in any business culture. But also in Saudi Arabia, they seem to hold even more weight. So, what's your advice on cultivating meaningful connections with local partners, and how does trust factor into successful collaborations?
You see, we have to work on the trust between businesses from Saudi Arabia and India both together
Mm.
because they come from different backgrounds and different cultures, and some stereotypes can have an effect on the business relations sometimes. But we must understand this, that we need to deepen the relation even more because we do not understand the Indian mindset or the Indian entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, we're just starting at the beginning. Okay, sometimes we have difficulty with visas, sometimes we have difficulty with regulations because when you sign a contract in India, you have to have a business visa, not a tourist visa, and that can make some complications. Every country has its laws and restrictions. But regarding the people in charge, they should work on better having like cultural ambassadors, and we should work also on having Saudi cultural ambassadors to speak the language and to reach the Indian side to tell them about uh, how we do business, what and how we can achieve this cultural adherence to have a level to reach together, on or like a business culture that we both agree on. The So we make the environment healthy to invest and to even raise the standards up with I'm not happy with the growth, by the way. With the growth with trade is just people buying stuff. I want Indian companies to come here. You have a wonderful Indian company called Blue Star for air conditions. It's not. We want it here. We want the competition. Compete with China here. Come and bring Blue Star here, and let's have competition in the market. India's company deserve to be here, and they have every right to be here. Blue Star. I called them several times and asking questions about air condition manufacturing, and they helped me out. I don't have their air condition. I'm not a client. I'm not in a partner with them in any way, but they helped me out. And I called other companies. They did not help me out. So this kind of helpful atmosphere and a good environment, I hope they bring more Indian companies to Saudi Arabia. Okay, in the beginning everything is not understood because we have different cultures, different laws. But once two or three of the big people, like for example the guy who owns Lulu Market has opened here, and he's researching. Even when they open, I told them, hey guys, you're opening in these places have these kinds of populations, and you are selling imported stuff, so please open one up in the north of Jeddah. So they understood and they accepted. You see, the most thing about Indians that people don't know is they are always successful because they are very adaptable. If you have a problem, no way an Indian is not gonna solve it. That is something that everybody knows. Okay, uh, this is something that is very important in Indian business that can be also a crucial element in Saudi startups. Okay, we can have, you know, like hackathon, we can have programmers. Language is not a barrier anymore. AI can translate my novel to Japanese in just 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, without any mistake. Okay, it's not like Google Translate. No, no, this is another level. Okay, so we need to understand the landscape. Uh, Most of the companies in the US are the head of the companies are from India or from Indian descent. Okay, so that means that India has a considerable amount of influence. Okay, in the tech sector. And they have also a lot of information, studies, research that has a different aspect and a different view, different theories from the Western world. So we can benefit from that. We can have relations from that. Indian pharmaceutical companies can come and look at the desert plants and the desert species. What can be used to cure cancer? What can be used to cure diabetes? Research, a lot of research is needed. In anthropology, India is very advanced in anthropology more than any nation on earth. Okay, in anthropology, India can help, with researches and doing stuff and bringing our culture in also through anthropology to your culture and bring an understanding between both our people. Adding to that, there is something that people, you know, uh, don't really understand, that we have something very important that we share with India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I call it the rice eating nation. Okay, the people who like to eat rice have so much in common than people that eat sandwiches or other stuff. Yeah, there is the bread and potato. Okay, the meat and potato guys, and there is the rice and meat guys. Okay, nobody can defeat us.
It's absolutely.
Yeah, because we must understand that like the Ayurveda can be implemented, yeah, into the holistic system, into the medicinal system. It can be teach. We need cultural exchanges. We need colleges to contribute with each other. Let me tell you something. The Indians did something very amazing, and the world did not give India enough credit for it. Okay, and I'm saying this not because I'm on your show. I always say this. Okay, ISRO, the Indian Space Agency, okay, has made, before Elon Musk, before anybody, the cheapest way to send a rocket to Mars.
Correct.
Okay, and nobody said this. Nobody said. Even the Chinese could not do it. Okay, so this is competing in space. Where is our where is our guys? We need to work with you guys in space. We need to have a dialogue about space technologies, how to send stuff to the moon, to send stuff to Mars. Okay, I believe you're the guys who are gonna go and make the first colony on Mars. Elon Musk is just making you do want to do it more.
He's just outsourcing it to us. Great, great, Mr. Wawad. And before we wrap up this lovely conversation and such an insightful one, um, Saudi Vision 2030, it's a game changer for the country's economic landscape. We can see that. How is this vision impacting business opportunities, and what sectors, as you mentioned, like pharma, then there is tech, are seeing the most exciting growth, maybe in the future also?
You see, new kinds of technologies might be emerging from Saudi Arabia, like the new hydrogen. I think they call it the green hydrogen or the blue hydrogen. Is a new technology developed in Saudi Arabia exclusively and now it's reaching the world. Okay, uh, and the Japanese got the first chance to it. So maybe we discover something new. Maybe we develop a new kind of tire, a new kind of aircraft, something new. Okay. And you guys, I am sure that when you guys step in, we will have even the results accelerated even more and more. Uh, the the idea itself, okay, Vision 2030 was just uh the first goal, the first vision, okay, and we are almost reaching that today. In for example, the unemployment level for 2030 was 7%. So now they said, okay, we will have the unemployment level 5% because we already have achieved so much. We believe we can do it. So it's bettering the quality of life for the society itself. And once you better the quality of life, people are comfortable spending money on luxury stuff, on this and that. Well, for example, I will tell you something. There is a lot of growth in the e-commerce, okay? But all of the products are coming from one country, which is your neighbors, but nobody knows how to get the products from India. Is there a directory? Is there something we can do? Okay, we like all the countries all around the world. We love them. Okay, but we like to compete. It's like you remember the old movies in the market. This is from Persia. This is from India. This is from China. So you look and see the fabrics, and you touch them, and you see the smells of the spices and stuff, and you can choose. It's more fun that way, and it's more competing, and the market is big enough to have everybody in it. You see, the opportunities are big enough. If all of the huge companies, all of the major companies around the world come here, there is still room for expansion. There is still the market can have everybody.
Global expansion.
Yeah, and you can like have, for example, you can have automated satellite equipment. I have an idea. If one of your viewers can help me with my idea, I would be grateful. I want to do like a mothership for drones, and this mothership would be next to like, for example, the International Space Station or an asteroid, or collecting space junk, all satellites and stuff like that. So this mothership deploys drones that are connected with wires. So if it's a problem in the International Space Station, they fix it, instead of the guy that you trained for hundreds of millions of dollars, that he will go and risk his life and go outside of the International Space Station just to fix a hole or something, or to fix an antenna. So send the drones. Okay, they can do the maintenance stuff, and then we can train them to mine asteroids, and then to remove space garbage. And if you know space law, that each country is the owner of the space wreckage that is available in space, for the space junk. They own it. So the countries can pay us as owners of these drones to remove it, and then to collect it, and then we can keep collecting it somewhere in space where it doesn't hurt anybody, and then we can have until that time comes, we develop a container or something, so we can send it back to Earth, or recycle it, or do whatever happens. So this is one of my ideas that I think only can be done in India.
Great, great. We'll definitely, uh, spread this word in our uh, entrepreneurs, founders community, and let's see what great ideas our people have got. And definitely,
And next space technology that will change the world is photonic. Now, Elon Musk proved that the ionic engines through Starlink satellites are worthy. Okay, you can use ionic, but the future is photonic. You must understand photonics. Photonics is the future. If somebody wants to study from your audience and wants to think about something that can change the world, please study photonics, and let's be the first guys to do it. We'll team up. We'll make the first invention, and we can be an interplanetary species before Elon Musk.
Great, great. That's a great idea. Fresh and unique idea. And I think that could be, a kind of a future our current generation can take up. Engineers and or physicians or the innovators.
And always, fusion ideas is very nice. Okay. For example, Coca-Cola, sometimes they take old music and then they infuse it with something new so they can promote their brand. Imagine if you can do the same things between the stuff that our ancestors did, like for example, the colors, the dyes for material and stuff, and we can do it in a way to improve our clothing and apparel today in an innovative way, fusion between technology and the culture.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Great
it has
technology.
the technology and the newness in one hand, and it has the heritage and the stories of the past in another hand.
So,
That's where you get great products.
and it can also strengthen communications. It can actually healthify intergenerational businesses, like older generations, the ancient cultures, traditions, and the beauty of natural elements, and then combined and married with the technology of the newer generation, neo thought process, and how to you know, spread it to the masses as well. So it's accessible as well.
Yes. And we have also a lot of lessons to learn from India regarding family businesses, family owned businesses, and how to make them survive. There are really a few books that were translated to English. It's very insightful in the way that people manage their own business. We have also our stories to tell. We can contribute together to making both our cultures and both our people both our peoples and the business environments much better than they are today. And I hope to be uh, the guy to do that through you, through your audience, and through anybody who wants to better the relations between uh, the Saudi people and the Indian people and all of the people of the region.
Lovely, lovely. Great, great, Mr. Moth. And thank you so much for this such a lovely, heartwarming conversation. And finally, if our listeners they want to connect with you and share their ideas with you, have a great exchange, how they can do that.
I have my website, mohammadbahareth.com. They can reach out. We have a WhatsApp link. The website is translated through AI to several languages, and they can talk to us through WhatsApp, through the emails, and through the forms on the website. And I would also like to say uh, that once long ago, I think back in 2009, I had some problems. My money got stolen while I was, exiting the bank, and the people who helped me in New Zealand I call them my friends. Uh, and until today, they were so very kind to me. There is my friend, he's Indian, his name is Arpit, and my friend also called Priya. They helped me with the hotel. They were so kind to me. They reduced the hotel price by 20% so I can get money to be enough for the remaining stay of the hotel and get, they gave me the money cash, and that really helped me out. They were so kind to me, and they were trying in every possible way to make me do business, to make me happy. I was just a student back then, and they were really helpful. So this is when I really understood through these gestures the kindness of the Indian people.
Lovely. Well, lovely, lovely uh, story you shared. Great, great. Listeners, wow, what a fascinating and fresh conversation we had with the incredible Mohammad Bahareth. We learned about business, we learned about relationships, we learned about culture, we explored some great new innovative ideas about the upcoming technologies and trends, and a great message for all of us that, it's of course a global community which can help us, all of us, flourish and save the entire humanity. So, with that, I conclude this podcast, listeners. And I would also like to add that Saudi Arabia is more than just a booming economy. It's a land of untapped potential, innovation, and incredible opportunities, as you heard from our guest, Mohammad Bahareth. But um, success here requires more than just a good idea. It's about cultural sensitivity, building relationships, and aligning with the country's bold Vision 2030. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Mindful Living. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to share it with your network. Until next time, keep living and leading mindfully. And who knows, maybe Saudi Arabia is your next big adventure. Thank you.